Hi, YouTube family. Welcome back to Recording Movies Recap. Today I am going to explain a Chinese action movie called Iron Protector. Spoilers. A martial arts expert named Wu Lin is the successor of an ancient Chinese clan, the Iron Feet. He has come to a big city for the first time in years. Suddenly, a group of gangsters in pursuit bumps into a kid and drops his ice cream. To help him, Wu Lin goes looking for the men and meets them in an alleyway. They have found the person they were chasing and are about to kill him. With the excuse of getting the ice cream money back, Wu Lin stalls them for a while. But when they start getting aggressive, he doesn't hold back. He takes on a dozen gangsters on his own, showcasing great kung fu skills. By the end of the fight, he is the only one standing. The man whose life he saved is a wealthy businessman named Jia Shan. He offers him money, but Wu Lin refuses to accept it. He then goes back to the child and gives him another cone of ice cream. Suddenly, many cars surround him from all sides. The leader of the opposite group comes out and hugs Wu Lin, revealing that the two are good friends. He is a kung fu master and the owner of a security firm. Jiangli. Wu Lin and Jiangli used to be disciples of the same master. They grew up and trained together before Jiangli moved to the city to better his life. He has earned a lot of money and fame over the years but has forgotten his master's principles along the way. As they talk, we find out that Jiangli didn't leave the village on his own. He made a huge mistake during a practice and was kicked out by the master. The master believed he was not worthy of being taught a sacred art like kung fu. In the present, Wu Lin brings out the master's ashes, revealing that he passed away. Jiangli breaks down crying, still filled with love for his mentor. The next day, they go to Jiangli's training center. While going through the security checkup, Wu Lin is asked to remove his shoes because they are made of metal. Jiangli knows the history behind them, so he allows him to come in without taking them off. The businessman Jia Shan has come to Jiangli to hire a bodyguard for his daughter. Jiangli shows him the strength of his men, but Jia Shan shows interest in hiring Wu Lin. Wu Lin agrees to do it since one of the master's teachings said the protector will do anything in his power to protect the employer. The next morning, Wu Lin meets Jia Shan's spoiled daughter Fei Fei. The first meeting doesn't go as expected as a startled Fei Fei drops her towel, assuming he is an intruder. After finding out he is her new bodyguard, she offers him money to leave her alone. However, Wu Lin is true to his principles, so a little amount of money won't change his decision. As a last resort, Fei Fei threatens him with a fake gun, but Wu Lin doesn't react at all. Later that day, the two drive to the mall. Fei Fei reluctantly walks around while he follows her everywhere. Then, she notices a group of perverts bothering a girl. She confidently walks to the leader of the group and slaps him in the face. When the man is agitated, she lies that Wu Lin asked her to do so. The thugs are about to beat up Wu Lin when he claims that he doesn't know who Fei Fei is. The plan bites her back when they believe him and start chasing her to teach her a lesson. Wu Lin watches in amusement as they make her run around the mall. But at last, he decides to help her and makes the thugs apologize. At night, Wu Lin dreams of his father throwing him off a cliff. It turns out, he has had the same experience in real life as well. When he was only 7 years old, his corrupt businessman father tried to kill him. The reason is still unknown to Wu Lin, but he remembers his father said, "Success requires sacrifice," before throwing him off a cliff. Then, we are introduced to a gangster named Mr. Fu. He used to be Jia Shan's employer, but is now actively trying to kill him. Jia Shan has information about every criminal activity Fu has been a part of. Hence, the gangster wants him dead as soon as possible. A trusted fortune teller claims that Fu's end is near. Although the man has been working with Fu for several decades, he shoots him dead because of the outrageous assumption. The next day, Wu Lin and Fei Fei go to a fancy restaurant. Fei Fei enjoys the meal, while Wu Lin stands by her and keeps watch on everyone. Suddenly, he holds a waitress down, claiming that she is trying to harm Fei Fei. An angered Fei Fei rushes to the bathroom, but Wu Lin barges in and forcefully brings her outside. On their way back home, they get into an altercation again. A bunch of men come to Fei Fei's aid, assuming that Wu Lin is harassing her. She takes the opportunity to run away but is abducted by the waitress and waiter from earlier. Wu Lin's intuition is proven right, but he has no time to celebrate. He quickly follows the car and gets on top of it after jumping off an overbridge. However, he soon loses his grip and falls down. The second time, he doesn't bother jumping on it but faces it head-on. After stopping it and fighting the masked kidnapper, he manages to run away with Fei Fei. He was born with a heart on the right side of his chest, so the punch didn't do him much harm. With renewed motivation, Wu Lin returns home and takes off the metal boots. It causes him to master the 108 kicks technique. Then, he changes his appearance and wears a suit before going to Jiang Li's training center. Hundreds of his trainees who were guarding the place attack him. But now with 50 kilograms of weight off his feet, Wu Lin is undefeatable. He only uses his hands for defense and knocks several of them out with his amazing footwork. In the end, he is the only one standing in the ring. Following the encounter, he competently enters a room with Mr. Fu, Jiang Li, Fei Fei, and Jia Shan. Fu asks him if he is not afraid to die, to which Wu Lin replies that success requires sacrifice. Fu is shocked because he had said the same thing to his son before killing him. Several years ago, Fu and Jia Shan worked together as partners. But one time, Fu made Jia Shan get caught by the police, which in turn caused the death of his wife. Even since then, Jia Shan had been looking to take revenge on Fu. Fu loved his son Wu Lin dearly, until one day, he witnessed Wu Lin chasing an animal away by just staring at it. Fu's trusted fortune teller told him that his son would be the end of him and his career. That was the reason why he tried to kill Wu Lin, even though he was only a kid. Fu laughs at his fate, thinking that the fortune teller was right all along. He fires at Wu Lin, but this time, Jiang Li stops him. He is tired of being a pawn in Fu's illegal activities. He claims that he wants to fight Wu Lin and give him a chance to showcase the power of 108 kicks. They get into yet another battle where Jiang Li has an upper hand because of the strength-magnifying gloves he is wearing. As the fight proceeds, Wu Lin slowly starts to overpower him. But when Jiang Li is about to be defeated, Fu shoots him dead. With his last breath, he asks Wu Lin to live and maintain the legacy of the Iron Feet clan. Now, only Wu Lin and Fu are the ones left alive. Seeing his death in front of him, Fu tries to make amends Wu Lin. But his attempt fails. Wu Lin launches at him, ready to end his life, but decides otherwise. He has always fought fairly, and killing the opponent is against the master's rule. He doesn't want to swoop down to Fu's level, so he lets him be with his ruined business. In the last scene, we see Wu Lin spreading Jiang Li's ashes in the air. Subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.